Hey coin collectors, welcome back to the channel where we dive into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. In today's video, we're talking about one of the most iconic coins in American history, the bicentennial quarter. We'll be counting down the top 4 bicentennial quarters in terms of value while exploring their rich history. So let's dive in. 1976 bicentennial quarter. The bicentennial in 1976 marked 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. To celebrate, the U.S. Mint released special editions of 3 coins, the quarter, the half dollar, and the dollar. Each of these coins featured unique designs that honored the nation's history. Now, the quarter we're focusing on today is special because it doesn't just have the usual George Washington portrait on both sides. Instead, the reverse side showcases a unique design that's full of symbolism. On the obverse, or the front of the 1976 bicentennial quarter, you still see George Washington, the founding father himself, but with a small twist. Unlike regular quarters that have the date at the bottom, this coin has a dual date, 1776 to 1976. This immediately sets it apart. But the real magic is on the reverse side. Instead of the usual eagle, we see a drummer boy. Designed by Jack L.R., it symbolizes the role ordinary people played in the Revolutionary War behind him. There's a torch encircled by 13 stars representing the original 13 colonies. It's a powerful tribute to the nation's history. Now, there are a few things you need to know about where these coins were made. Bicentennial quarters were minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. If your quarter was minted in Philadelphia, it won't have a mint mark. If it came from Denver, you'll see a small D, and the ones minted in San Francisco have an NS mint mark. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The San Francisco Mint produced 2 types of bicentennial quarters, one in clad composition like regular quarters and one in 40% silver, which is much more valuable today. Okay, let's talk about what these coins are worth today. Most bicentennial quarters that you find in circulation are made of a copper-nickel blend. These are pretty common, so if you've got one in average condition, it's still worth about 25 cents. However, if your coin is in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks brand new, it could be worth around $1 to $3. But the real value comes from the silver quarters minted in San Francisco. If you have one of these, even in circulated condition, it could be worth around $5 to $7. Uncirculated silver bicentennial quarters can fetch up to $20 or more. And if it's graded by a professional grading service, high-quality silver bicentennial quarters can go for even higher. So, how do you know if your bicentennial quarter is silver? First, look at the edge of the coin. A regular clad quarter will show a copper stripe along the edge, while a silver quarter will have a solid silver edge. Also, check for the S Mint mark, which is the giveaway for San Francisco minted silver versions. Now, let's talk about those rare and high-grade bicentennial quarters. If you have a quarter in mint state condition, what collectors call MS for mint state, its value can skyrocket. MEM 65 or higher graded bicentennial quarters can go for $20 to $40 or more depending on demand. There are also proof versions of the bicentennial quarter which were specially made for collectors. These coins are usually very shiny with a mirror-like finish, and these can be worth between $7 and $15 depending on their condition. 2019 Lowell State Quarter. The 2019 Lowell Quarter is part of the Ameriful Quarters program, which began in 2010 and ran until 2021. This series highlights national parks, monuments, and historical sites from every state territory and the District of Columbia. The 2019 Lowell Quarter specifically represents Lowell National Historical Park. Let's first talk about the design. The obverse, like All America the Beautiful Quarters, features the portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan and used since 1932. But the reverse, that's where the magic happens. The reverse of the Lowell Quarter was designed by Joel Iskowitz and sculpted by Phoebe Hemphill. It celebrates the rich industrial history of Lowell, Massachusetts. You can see a woman operating a power loom, which symbolizes the role of female laborers in the textile industry, in the background. There's a view of one of Lowell's famous mill buildings with a clock tower, a nod to the Industrial Revolution that changed the face of American labor in the 19th century. So, why is Lowell significant? This city was one of the birthplaces of the American Industrial Revolution, particularly in the textile industry. Lowell National Historical Park preserves and shares this rich history, allowing visitors to learn about the changes in manufacturing labor that helped shape modern America. Now, let's get into the minting details. The Lowell Quarter was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia P, Denver D, and San Francisco S. The P and D coins were produced for general circulation, while the S mint mark coins are proof versions intended for collectors. Here are the production numbers for each mint. Philadelphia Mint, 191.8 million coins. Denver Mint, 182.2 million coins. San Francisco Mint Proof, just over 1.1 million coins. All right, now for the part you've been waiting for, the value of the 2019 Lowell Quarter. If you find a regular circulated quarter, its value is generally 25 cents. However, some factors can make certain coins more valuable. For instance, if you have a high-grade uncirculated coin that's a coin straight from the mint with little to nowhere, it could be worth a few dollars, depending on the grade. A top-rated MEM 67 or MEM 68 Lowell Quarter could sell for anywhere between $50 and $150. If you're lucky enough to have a San Francisco Proof Quarter, especially in a perfect Pro 70 Deep Cameo grade, these coins could be valued at $20 to $30. Plus, always be on the lookout for error coins. Error coins, such as double die strikes or off-center prints, can significantly raise a coin's value, sometimes into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity. Now, if you have a special coin, preserving its condition is key to maintaining or increasing its value. Always store your coins in a cool, dry place and handle them as little as possible, preferably with gloves or by holding them by the edges. And if you think your coin might be rare or in pristine condition, consider getting it graded by a professional service like Pegs or Nank. Fort Moultrie 2016 State Quarter. The Fort Moultrie Quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, which honors national parks and historic sites across the U.S. Fort Moultrie, located in South Carolina, was part of the defense of Charleston during the American Revolutionary War. It's named after Colonel William Moultrie, who led the fort's defense against the British fleet in 1776. The victory at Fort Moultrie was crucial, delaying British occupation of the South and boosting American morale during the war. The fort, which is part of the Fort Sumter National Monument, has seen action in various periods of American history, from the Revolutionary War to the Civil War. It was originally made of palmetto logs and sand, materials that remarkably absorb clan fire, earning a place in the lore of American defense. Now, let's talk about the coin itself. Released by the U.S. Mint on November 14th, 2016. This quarter is the 35th in the America the Beautiful series and specifically highlights Fort Moultrie's historic significance. On the obverse, like all quarters in this series, we have the familiar image of George Washington, the first president of the United States. This design has been a staple of U.S. quarters since 1932. On the reverse, you'll find a detailed depiction of Sergeant William Jasper during the 1776 battle. Sergeant Jasper is shown running across the sand holding the regimental flag of South Carolina. He's bravely returning the flag to its position after it was knocked down by British cannon fire. The coin was designed by Richard Scott and sculpted by Joseph Mena. The inscriptions on the reverse include Fort Moultrie, South Carolina 2016 and E Pluribus Unum. This coin beautifully captures a moment of heroism during the birth of the nation. Like all modern quarters, the Fort Moultrie coin was minted in 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. You can identify where your coin was minted by looking for the mint mark, which can be found on the obverse side near Washington's ponytail. P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. While Philadelphia and Denver mints produce these quarters for circulation, the San Francisco Mint produced proof versions for collectors. There are also silver-proof versions made from 90% silver, which adds to their collector value. Now, let's talk about the value. Most Fort Moultrie quarters from the Philadelphia or Denver mints found in circulation are only worth their face value of 25 cents. However, coins in uncirculated condition, those that have not been used and remain pristine, can be worth a bit more. Uncirculated coins can be worth around $1 to $2 depending on their condition. If you have a San Francisco minted proof quarter, values can range from $3 to $6. Silver proof quarters, which are highly sought after by collectors, can be worth around $15 to $20 or more depending on their condition. As always, the value of a coin can vary based on its grade, scarcity, and demand. Coins graded by professional services like Pegs or Nank can fetch even higher prices, especially if they achieve a high grade. 1999 Connecticut State Quarter. The Connecticut Cut Quarter was part of the U.S. Mint's famous 50 State Quarters program. Launched in 1999, this program aimed to honor each of the 50 states by featuring unique designs on the reverse of the quarter. Connecticut's quarter was the last state to be released in 1999, rounding out the first year of the series. The reverse side of the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter features an image of the charter oak, a legendary symbol of Connecticut's fight for independence. The tree was said to have hidden the state's charter from British authorities in the late 1600s, making it a powerful emblem of freedom and defiance. On the obverse side, like all U.S. quarters, we have the classic image of George Washington. This remained consistent throughout the entire 50-state quarter series. Now let's talk about where these coins were minted. The 1999 Connecticut State Quarter was produced at 3 different mints. Philadelphia denoted by the P mint mark, Denver denoted by the D mint mark, San Francisco denoted by the S mint mark for proof coins. In total, over 1.3 billion Connecticut quarters were struck across these mints, making it a common find in circulation today. But as with any coin, rarity isn't the only factor when determining value. Let's talk value. If you find a 1999 Connecticut Cut quarter in your pocket change, chances are it's worth 25 cents. But if you've got one in mint condition, things get a little more interesting. Circulated coins, these are the coins you'd find in your everyday transactions. Most circulated Connecticut quarters are only worth face value. However, if the coin is in very good condition, it might fetch around 50 cents to $1 for collectors. Uncirculated coins, now this is where the value goes up. Uncirculated coins, especially those with the P or D mint marks, can range from $1 to $5 depending on the condition and the grade. Proof coins, the cement mark quarters, which were made specifically for collectors, are typically proof coins. A pristine proof coin could be worth $5 to $15 depending on its condition. Coin grading plays a huge role in determining the value of any coin, and the 1999 Connecticut quarter is no exception. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. M6063 mid-state coins in this range might have minor imperfections but still have great eye appeal. These coins are often valued between $2 and $5. M65 and above, coins graded MS65 or higher are truly stunning examples. These coins can be valued anywhere between $5 and $20 or even more in exceptional cases. Now, here's where things get exciting for collectors' error coins. Some Connecticut quarters have been discovered with minting errors such as off-center strikes or double dies. These error coins can be worth much more than regular examples. Depending on the error, the value of these quarters can range from $50 to several $100s. Before we wrap up, here's a fun fact. Did you know that the actual charter oak fell during a storm in 1856? Today, pieces of this historic tree are preserved in museums and monuments throughout Connecticut. It remains an enduring symbol of the state's rich history and heritage. So whether you're holding on to a Connecticut quarter for its beauty, historical significance, or potential value, it's definitely a coin worth having in your collection. What's your favorite coin from the 50 State Quarter series? Let us know in the comments below.